Before we dive into the main topic, please take a moment to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and leave a comment to support the channel. Your engagement truly helps. All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever had that feeling, you've spent years studying a language, but when it comes time to actually speak, you just freeze? It's so frustrating. Well, today we're going to unpack exactly why that happens. And even better, we're going to talk about how to fix it with a method that works with your brain, not against it. Okay, first up, let's talk about the struggle. And let's be real, if you've ever tried to learn a new language, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that feeling, right? Like you're just hitting a brick wall again and again. I mean, does any of this hit home for you? You're staring at flashcards for hours, but the words just disappear. Or someone comes up and speaks to you in the language and your mind just goes totally blank. Poof. And the worst part? You look back and realize you've been doing this for years, but you still feel like a total beginner. If that's you, you are definitely not alone. These questions, they're super common. So here's the most important thing I'm going to say today, so listen close. If you're feeling that frustration, it is not your fault. Seriously, you're not bad at languages. You don't lack some kind of talent. The language isn't too hard. The problem is the way you've been taught to learn. So let's dig into that, right? Why do these traditional methods fail us so badly? It's kind of like trying to hammer in a screw. You're using completely the wrong tool for the job. Just think back to high school Spanish or French class for a second. What was it? Memorizing these giant lists of vocabulary, right? And then diving into these super complicated grammar rules that had like nothing to do with actually talking to someone. Then cram for a stressful test. Rinse and repeat. The whole thing was about studying about the language, not actually living in it. And that's the core problem, you see. That school method, it might be okay for something like math, where there are hard and fast rules. But language? Language is alive. It's messy. It's organic. It's all about connecting with other people. When you try to treat it like a chemistry equation, you miss the whole point. So look, if you took 3 years of French and you still can't confidently order a croissant, or you studied German forever and asking for directions feels impossible, I want you to hear this loud and clear. That is not your failure. That is the failure of the method that was used to teach you. All right, so enough doom and gloom about what doesn't work. Let's talk about what does. There's a secret to all of this, and honestly, it's not really a secret at all. It's the exact same way you learned to speak your own native language when you were a little kid. You learned it naturally. The magic behind this is a big idea called comprehensible input. Now, I know that sounds super academic, but stick with me, because it's actually really simple. All it means is listening to and reading stuff that you can mostly understand. We're not talking 100% perfect understanding. Think more like 70 to 90%. It's that sweet spot, where you're not bored, but you're also not totally lost. When you do that, your brain just naturally starts to pick things up. It's a pattern-finding machine, and it starts absorbing grammar and vocabulary without you even trying. So, what does this look like in the real world? It's actually the fun part. It means watching shows you like, listening to music, maybe finding a podcast in that language. You're not sitting there with a grammar book forcing yourself to memorize rules. You just listen, you watch, and your brain, that amazing machine, it just starts to absorb the patterns, the flow, the common phrases. No stress, no forced memorization. It just happens. Okay, This all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually start? Let's map out a super simple game plan. And I promise, this is not about creating some huge, scary study schedule. It's all about taking small, easy steps that you can start doing like today. So for your first week, the mission is simple. Keep it light and keep it fun. This is especially true if you're a total beginner at that A1 level. All you gotta do is maybe watch 20 minutes of beginner videos on YouTube each day. You know, the ones that teach you basic sounds and how to say hello. Try repeating a few words out loud. It feels silly at first, but it helps your mouth get used to it. Then maybe listen to a song or watch a simple cartoon. That's it. Seriously. And here's the key thing to remember. Your goal for week 1 is not perfection. It's not about memorizing 100 words. The only goal is to get comfortable. You just want to make the language feel a little less foreign, a little more friendly, so your brain starts to hear it and thinks, oh, hey, I know that sound. And honestly, that leads us to the biggest mindset shift you need to make. This is the real secret sauce for long-term success. It's about completely changing your goal from being perfect to just being comfortable. Let's really look at what that means. Think about it. The old way, the goal was perfection, right? Never make a mistake, have a flawless accent, memorize every single rule. It's a total recipe for anxiety. But the new goal? It's comfort. It's about being able to get your point across, even if it's not perfect. It's about slowly building up the confidence just to try. It's about making the language feel like an old friend. The real goal is communication, not perfection. Because here's the thing about confidence. It doesn't just show up one day because you became perfect. That's not how it works. Confidence comes from familiarity. It comes because you've heard a word or a phrase so many times that it just feels normal. The sounds, the rhythm, it all becomes familiar. And that is what gives you the guts to finally open your mouth and speak. So, as we finish up here, I want to leave you with a question, a challenge, really. Let's just forget that big, scary word fluency for a minute. Instead, ask yourself this. What is one tiny, small step you can take today, right now, to get a little more comfortable with the language you want to learn? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'd love to see what you come up with. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, and leave a comment to support the channel.